This episode is brought to you by Schismatic Industries. Schismatic Industries is gi and no gi jiu-jitsu apparel. You can check out their apparel at www.schismaticindustries.com, which is spelled SCHISMATIC Industries. You can also follow them on Instagram at schismatic_industries and check them out for the best gi and no gi jiu-jitsu apparel. This episode is also brought to you by Guardian Oil. You can follow them at www.tryguardianoil.com or follow them on Instagram at handle tryguardianoil. Guardian Oil is a spray, a cleansing spray you can use before or after training, especially in the grappling department, to keep you clean, keep your skin healthy, soft, and clean from infection and germs.
I'm a champion now. If you thought I was a pain in the ass before, you got no idea what you're in store for.
Who the fuck is that guy?
The Doctor and the Driver podcast
starts now.
It was a hilarious meme. It was such a good meme. It was like, remember, you've seen the memes where it's like, come over. It's like, I got this going on. It's like my parents aren't home. In those memes?
Yeah.
She's like, come over. And he's like, I can't, I got to fight. And she's like, my parents aren't home. And then he runs out there and gets that 11-second heel hook.
Oh, nice.
Like sprints across the thing. That's pretty good. Pretty good. I got a surprise for you for 6:30 at night. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Ice cold beer, my first beer in almost a year.
Alcoholic?
No, come on, dude.
Oh, dude. Shit sucked.
Yeah. You didn't like it? That's interesting.
Booty hole.
Well, I strongly
No, it was
disagree.
too sweet.
Okay, I strongly disagree, but because I know you're not a sweet tooth, I wouldn't have recommended this flavor. I told you to get white
Tried the
gummy.
white. I did, and I drank 2 of them. See what nothing happened. Dude, I think the Adderall from my life, from my childhood, just
Yeah, you were
my
definitely.
receptors are burned, man.
How
Like I
long?
drank 2 of
When did
those,
you
fucking
stop
nothing.
When did you stop taking Adderall?
End of like a year ago.
Because you were just like, I don't need this anymore, or was it like?
Yeah, I mean, I only used it for school. So
But,
once I was out of school, I didn't need it anymore.
But you were prescribed Adderall for like your whole life, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was
Oh,
just
you
like,
mean
all
that
right,
helped you in school is what you mean?
Yeah, that was the
Like your
only
whole
reason I
life.
used it. Yeah.
And you were in school your whole life until like a couple years ago. I got
until last year. So I stopped.
I got you. Well, I guess we're recording now. We got Tex Johnson coming on the show in a little bit.
Oh, I might ask him if he's seen Trick or Treat.
Okay.
See if he thinks it sucks.
You still think it sucks?
Dude, I
interesting.
was like, it's so funny because like I finally got Alexa to watch the movie and she's like hates all movies, and we both were like, what the fuck is this?
I never got that vibe at all.
I
Never.
know, I don't know, I just did.
It's pretty popular, I think. Pretty sure
I know,
it's
it had a really good critic rating too.
It's
So
like
I was
a
like,
cult
I guess
classic.
we're the I guess.
It's like the people who are into like October time of year, I'm pretty sure they all like Trick or Treats a year. It's like the only one I could think of that we watch every year. Kimberly, can you think of like a Halloween type, spooky type movie that we watch every year? Besides
People watch
Trick-or-Treat?
like Hocus Pocus, but that's Casper.
Halloween. We didn't watch it this year. We watched the new one. Nothing. Hocus Pocus.
That's what I just said.
Just after you said it. Well, I was listening to her and you. Kimberly's a big Hocus Pocus fan.
Yeah, a lot of girls like Hocus Pocus.
Let's see. I love Halloween. I love Nightmare on Elm Street. Especially for horror movies. I mean, in general, I'm not the biggest sequel guy. In general,
Yeah.
I think most of the time you can just watch the first of movies and it's fine. There are quite a bit of exceptions, but they're like the big one. Like obviously Harry Potter. What other one? Harry Potter.
Wait, what is your category?
in general, like movies that have sequels that they're necessary. Star Wars, like
Oh, you have to have seen the other ones for it to make sense.
not to make sense, but like so. Okay, let me give some good examples. Like Nightmare on Elm Street. That's the only one you got to watch. Watch the Nightmare on Elm Street. It's a great movie. It's a classic. And then there's all you don't have to watch the 78 sequels.
Yeah.
They mostly suck. There's no point.
Uh-huh.
It's just like Halloween. I feel the same way, honestly. I mean, I've watched the Halloween movies. I watched the new one, and it's Michael Myers killing stuff for sure. But you can just watch Halloween, and that's it. You don't got to watch 2, 3. You don't got to watch all those. You can
I
just.
see what you're saying.
I'll tell you one of my favorite as far as like YA, young adult. Like
Uh-huh.
it's surprising how much I like this movie. Maze
Yeah.
Runner. I love Maze Runner. I think this 2 and 3. I don't have to watch them. To me, some people are really into them. I think.
I didn't know.
Have you seen Maze Runner?
Yeah.
I like Maze Runner. Scorch Trials the second one, and then I think Death Cure is the third one. They're okay, but like I can just watch Maze because like the problem is with something like that is the story goes off, and it's a unique story, right? But like Maze Runner was all about the maze. Like it was such a mystery. Like what's in the maze? Like when someone goes
Yeah.
in there, like if the gates close, they never come out. And it's like, what's going on with this place and this village? And he doesn't know his name. No one remembers their life before they got here. What is going on with this effing maze? Like, how did we get here?
Uh-huh.
All that is like cool. But then once you start figuring it out and then they get through the maze, like once they're in the maze, it's really cool and the monsters are in there. It's awesome. But then they get out and then like 2 and 3 are like totally different. They're their own thing
Yeah.
with the same characters. But like the whole thing with the maze and how they got there, like that's cool to me. I really like Maze Runner 1. Can't tell. Big fan.
Yeah.
Honestly, this is controversial because most people love the trilogy and it's pretty good. But Back to the Future, big fan of Back to the Future 1. The rest of them, I don't really have to watch 2 and 3.
Mm.
Just not. I just
Mm.
and most horror movies, it's like watch 1 and then like that's it. Most of them.
Paranormal Activity.
Paranormal Activity, I haven't seen them all. There's a bunch.
I think they made 3.
No, there's
I've seen
definitely
all of them. I've seen 3 of them at least.
there's look up how many there are. I bet
There's
at
no
least,
way there's
at
more.
least 5. At least 5.
You think there's
100%.
5?
I think there's more than 5, but
No fucking way.
Seriously,
Where have I
man.
been?
Exactly, dude. They lost their spark.
Holy shit, dude. There's
How many?
7 of them.
Okay, what I tell you.
Fuck. Whoa. I do not remember after
I told
3.
you. I said I bet there's 5, but I wanted to say more just because.
Dude, they've made one every fucking year almost. And then made like weird offshoots of some of them. Wow. First one was 2007, bro.
I know we watched it in theaters. It was very scary.
But it was not in 2007 when I watched it in theaters. That's for fucking sure. 2007, I was in like 7th grade.
2007?
That's when it first apparently was made. But I remember. Oh, the release date in theaters was 2009. That makes more sense.
Okay. Yeah, I was about to say 2007 doesn't sound right because
Yeah,
I think I moved.
Like, what?
I think I moved to Gettysburg 2008, maybe 2007, one of those 2 years.
Yeah, technically it was made in 2007, but I remember there was like they used to have commercials on TV that was like demand paranormal activity in your theater or whatever. I remember that.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, I like it. I liked it.
I liked it when I first saw it. I thought it was very
it's
scary.
different. It's different. Like they do the found footage thing differently. But
their budget was under $250,000 and it made $193 million. So
that is
that is crazy.
That's the beauty of a found footage movie in general. Like they don't have, except like Cloverfield, I guess, where they have to have like a monster in there.
Yeah.
But like, we gotta have Tex in here in like 15 minutes, so we will talk some fights in a second. So I want to get that knocked out of the way. But sorry you didn't like Trick or Treat. I wouldn't have recommended it if I thought you wouldn't like it. That's for sure.
I mean, it was okay. It just was like I was like, damn, this is like a favorite.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan. I like it. But like, I get where you're coming from. I just don't agree. I don't have that mindset. I get where you're like, well, there wasn't really a point. Like it was just kind of like a handful of stories and that was it. I'm like, yeah, that's what it is. Like, it's not like a happy ever after. Like this guy's, you can't break the rules of Halloween. That's kind of the summary. And like the Sam dude, the kid they call Sam, Peeping Tom, whatever. The kid with the mask, pumpkin face. I like to think of him as like the spirit of Halloween. Like he keeps things alive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when he sees the girl, like, I'm taking these decorations down tonight. In the beginning of the movie, which ends up being actually the end.
Yeah.
And then he's like, the husband is like, no, it's tradition. You have to keep them up all night. And she doesn't. And you're like,
She blew the lantern out.
yeah. And you can't do that. That's another rule.
Mhm.
Kill, you got to check your candy.
Mhm.
Can't disturb the dead, that kind of thing. The old man obviously had his own issues, but um, not giving out candy, not participating in trick or treat. Sam got him in line, and then you know what I'm saying, like that's how I looked at him because like, what is he? You know what I mean? Like, he had a weird pumpkin face. We found out that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like that was necessary. I feel like they could have just kept the hood on him. It could have been a big
Yeah.
mystery. I guess they wanted you to see he was like,
A fucking
not
pumpkin
human.
man. Yeah.
Like I liked it. I'm gonna tell you, I liked it. Like I got all the spooky stuff next to me, dude. I got a skull right here.
Are you gonna be Scream with a championship belt? Is that your
No,
Halloween costume? Oh.
no, I did put the belt on for fun. No, we went trunk or treating yesterday. There was a little
Fucking
event here.
how?
There's just a little event here.
Oh.
Like people come. I wore my own costume. Jake wore his costume.
The
Remember I told
dog?
you? Dude, I'll send it to you real quick. I'll send it to you very quickly. Yeah, he insisted. I'm glad you remembered. He insisted on being a dog. So there you go. Check your phone.
Nice.
He got his wish, dude. He wanted to be a dog. He's very excited about it. It was funny because we went and got dog food afterwards for our actual dog, not our son dressed like a dog.
Yeah.
And he kept saying, he told us over and over, we're like, okay, man, we get it. He was like, I'm gonna pretend to eat that dog food because I'm a dog. And I was like, all right. He kept saying that,
Take a bite
like,
of that
I'm gonna.
shit.
He's like,
Change his mind.
I can pretend to eat that because I'm a dog. No, he obviously wasn't going to eat it. He was like, we didn't get the joke. He was like, because I'm a
Yeah.
dog. I'm like,
We
we
got it.
get it.
We got it, buddy.
Yeah, he's funny. All right, so we
All
got
right.
like 10 minutes. So let's. Um, I thought the main event last time was a good fight. I was very
Yeah, I
impressed.
thought the main event was good.
It was great. The rest of
Yeah.
the fights were kind of stinkers. Marvin Vittori, I tell you what, he's grown on me. I was not a fan of him for the longest. Like he just
Yeah.
annoyed me.
I
He
respect him.
really, I respect him. He took the weight. Paulo Costa came in huge overweight, big time overweight. I don't know if I
Yeah,
look any thinner, Alex. My weight's going good.
that's
Still got a
good.
little bit to go, but I got my crap together.
Mm,
We'll be on way. I had a good week. I had a good week.
yeah.
The weight was coming down. Jessica Rose Clark won, pretty boring decision. Alex Caceres with my boy Choi, right?
Hmm.
Choi, the Korean dude.
Yeah.
Choi was piecing him up, and then he just lashed around that neck. Didn't even go to the ground. They were standing up. It's kind of cool. Alex Caceres, veteran move, got a submission after basically almost getting knocked out a few times. And then Choi pulled the old Peter Yan, hit him with that old knee, that old illegal knee. Gave Caceres some time to probably recoup, but he didn't Aljamain Sterling it. He kept fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was it. And Vittori looked good. Costa looked okay, honestly. But Vittori, like he needs to start. People need to start putting him in like the Colby Covington, Tony Ferguson category of like doesn't get tired, like
Dude,
stays in
he
your
was taking
face.
shots, bro. Like I was like
And
impressed.
he's got a chin, yeah.
Yeah.
But he's always in your face and doesn't get tired. It's
Yeah.
kind of crazy. He has a crazy work ethic, crazy good gas tank.
Yeah.
Let's yeah, that was obviously a quick wrap up, but we're crunched for time for text. Let's do predictions for next week. Does that sound good?
For Jan and Glover and
Yeah, pay-per-view. I won't be able to
Peter.
watch it. I won't be able to watch it live because I have a fight, so we'll
Oh
not be
shit,
able
it's
to.
at fucking 2:00.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
crazy, dude.
Which I think my event starts at 3. I don't know the order I'm in yet. I don't know like how many matches are before mine or after mine, but I think the event starts at 3. They haven't even given that official yet. I don't think so. I won't be able to watch it live though because I'll be doing that, obviously. But I can obviously rewatch it. What is Hamza on that card? Really?
Huh?
Is Hamzat Chimaev, the Chechen Wolf,
Dude,
on that
he
card
is against Li Jiaoling.
against Jangalang?
Jingaling.
Are
Where
you
the fuck
serious?
did that
How
come
did that
from?
go under the radar?
Let's see how much of a favorite he is.
Is this on the UFC website as well?
It's on Google at least.
I know it's on Google. Let's double check this. What? Let's see if it's on the UFC page as well. I
Somebody
feel
hacked
like
Google.
that had to be talked about.
Yeah, that came out of nowhere. I would have seen that.
I think I remember them discussing the matchup, but I had no idea it was. I had no idea it was next week. How's that Jimmy off fighting Jingling? Let me see if that's on the UFC website. Dun-dun-dun.
It is. It has betting odds.
Holy shit! It's
Saturday,
on there.
345. Kazamet is a minus 450 favorite.
Interesting. What are the Hooker Islam Makhachev odds?
Islam heavy favorite, minus
That
650. Dan Hooker
yeah.
plus 440.
Let's think of a good bet to make, which will obviously sway some. Well, it won't necessarily be my picks. Jan and Sandhagen. Is Jan, how big of a favorite is Jan? Probably
Not
close.
a lot.
Yeah. I think Corey Sandhagen beats him.
He's still a favorite.
I think Sandhagen beats him, dude.
I don't know.
He's long. He's a striker. I think he's a more well-rounded striker. I don't know, man. What about Uzdemir and Magomed Anklinov? The first fight in the main card. What are those odds? Uzdemir's got to be an underdog.
Yeah, plus 235.
Kind of stay away from that one.
Yeah.
What if you did? Well, let's see. And then let's see, Volkov's fighting Tybura. Oh, man, that guy might be a sleeper though. Let's say if we did Hamzat, Volkov, Islam, Sandhagen, Jan. Can you figure that out?
Okay, wait, give me that again.
When we go slower?
Yeah.
If you Hamzat,
okay.
Volkov,
Okay,
Islam, Corey Sandhagen, and Jan. For a $10
Wait, how
bet.
can I do? Oh, wait, Jan
Blachowicz. Yes.
Sorry, yeah, it's getting confusing. All right, so that's 5 guys you picked, correct?
Was there 6 guys on the main card? Yeah, that's 5 guys. There's 6 guys on the card.
So for that 5 leg, it's plus 667. So not great. $66 for a fucking 5 leg parlay.
Yeah,
you put $10 on. That sucks.
There's too many big favorites. Yeah,
it's because fucking Islam's a minus 6. Like
Yeah.
everyone's minus 400, 600s. Corey Sandhagen's the only underdog.
Yeah, it's not good. There's too many favorites in this card. Might not even bet. Okay, well, I guess
prop bets like Islam does it in the first round or some shit.
There you go. Yeah, we'll be in talks the day of.
Yeah.
So you can throw some of those. I'll just run through mine, and I got a good feeling that you and I might be 100% because these guys are big favorites for a reason.
I know. I mean, I don't have any shockers.
I don't either, except for I think Sandhagen wins. I got Anklinov. I got Chechen Wolf. I got Volkov. I think Islam probably raw dogs Dan Hooker. I think it might be bad. Sandhagen and Jan Blachowicz.
So I am interested in Glover.
I'm interested in him too.
Really. I think that like Jan's a champion that I think Glover can beat. Like he could be, dude. And you know what? The more and more that what's his face looks
Anthony
better.
Smith looks good.
Anthony Smith looks better. Yeah. It's like maybe Glover just beat the shit out of him. Like maybe Glover's just that good.
Dude, since that Anthony Smith is looking untouchable. Like, not only has he been winning fights, but he's been destroying his
Yeah,
opponents.
and then it's like, well, what does that mean? Maybe Glover was like legit this whole time, and we just didn't know.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know.
He got that
I'm
second wind
interested
in
in
life.
Yeah,
Because he's old as hell.
I know. I'm rooting for him to win. I really am. I think Jan
That'd be cool.
is a legitimate champion. So like, yeah, whatever. But I'd like to see Glover win.
All right. I'm interested in it as well. I don't think he wins, but I think I'm with you. He
Yeah.
could.
I think he should.
I'll tell you one more big prediction. I don't know how big of a prediction this is.
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm still up in the air on who wins between Poirier and Charles Oliveira. I think that could go either way, obviously. So I think Islam Makhachev is the next champion after one of those guys. That's what I think. I think he's the next Khabib.
Probably.
And I know
Yeah.
that's not really a shocker to say. I think kind of everyone's saying it, but and
Yeah.
their teammates and best friends and
your
whatever.
they're in your meme comments. Are they saying it?
Oh yeah, that's true. Which I don't think he's necessarily. I don't think he's better than Khabib was. That's just a joke, but whatever. I've done
Is it?
really good at staying out of it.
Yeah.
I've done really good at staying out of it. Staying out of the
Oh, that's
comments,
good.
100%, because I've gotten some.
Yeah.
I've gotten some. Been hard to stay away from.
Yeah.
But I did. I did it.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm saying it's sad I can't watch these live, but I will be looking forward to it. What's up, man? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, man. My name's Gage. The other
Read the
guy's
mouth.
Alex.
All right.
How you doing, Tex? How's New York?
I love New York.
I was going to ask you about that. So you're originally from Texas, and then you moved. Tell us, just give us a quick backstory from how Tex started and how Tex got to New York.
I was born in Ohio when I was
Uh-oh.
a baby, and then my dad was in the Army, so we moved like every 4 years. And I moved from Georgia to Texas, and playing football in Texas is a little different than playing football in Georgia. And they just started calling me Texas, and then it got shortened to Tex, and then I started fighting MMA, and I just kept the name Tex from MMA.
It's a dope name for sure. It's a dope
It just
name.
got from Texas to Tex, so it's just like a.
Did MMA or jiu-jitsu bring you to New York? How'd you get from Georgia to New York?
Yeah, I came up here to train with a guy named Murillo Santana. His jiu-jitsu is incredible. The way he teaches and everything, and his team's just really amazing. So it's a really great team to be a part of.
And then did you fall in love with the New York life, or I'm sure it was quite the change.
Yeah. So I mean, you can walk out of your house or your apartment or wherever you're staying and just be wherever you want to be. Museums are all over the place within walking distance, restaurants. Yeah, so there's always something fun, and then just watching people all day. Just
You love it.
yeah, I do. It's fun. I mean, have you ever been?
Yeah, I was in the Navy years back, and I came for Fleet Week, which I'm sure you're familiar with.
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
It's a lot of fun.
But
a lot of fun.
You guys just drink the whole time you're here. You don't really like get to see anything or like understand what's going on. You guys just drink.
Dude, that's all we do the whole time we're in, man.
Right. So I get to take everything in.
Yeah, for sure. Gotcha. I want to talk to you. Okay, so I'll let you tell the story from beginning to end. So as I understand it, I watched your Who's Number One, you in the whatever you want to call it, out the heavyweight bracket for the heavyweight Who's Number One strap. You versus Orlando Sanchez. You had him in a pretty solid triangle. He slammed you, got disqualified. Ridiculous, obviously. I'm assuming that injured you, and if there's something else, just lay it all out for us.
So, yeah, I had him in a triangle, obviously, and I wasn't expecting to get slammed. So as he started to pick me up, I didn't expect to have to hook the leg or anything or have to bail on the triangle because like, oh, he's just gonna lift me up for theatrics because he can, but then he's just gonna set me down. And then it was like one of those rides at Six Flags where it just drops you out of nowhere, you know, and you're like, oh fuck, I couldn't do anything, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think at the speed that he hit my back onto the mat, it definitely you know, maybe dislodged a rib in the upper part of my thoracic, and then in my lower back it definitely ruptured or herniated a disc pretty badly in the L5 area, L4, L5 area, and it's protruding out and causing severe stenosis where the canal is starting to close off.
Oh,
So yeah, starting to lose some nerve function from the stenosis and all that. So I've had a couple of doctors say that, hey, I need to just go get surgery. And then, you know, you've got every whack job on here who's healed his own back going, you don't need surgery. Don't do that. I healed all my wounds on my own with a great old like lumbar thing off of Amazon. I used it every night. And I'm like, bruh, I've never seen you win a world title in your life. What are you talking about?
I think I saw you put that on your story. Like,
Yeah,
hey,
I kind
man,
of like everybody's
it's
like telling me, oh, you know, I broke my back like 12 years ago. And I'm like, did you come back to competition? Well, no. Well, then I don't need to know how you fixed your back. That's not, you know,
Yeah.
I'm trying to come back to competition or be able to train again at a normal level.
Have you
You know,
trained since
somewhat.
the event
No.
or no? Damn.
I taught a seminar. I started guard passing seminar, and after the guard passing seminar, I did my therapy for concussion, and then also because they thought I had a concussion from the impact,
Oh, wow.
which is very possible. So I got treated for a concussion, and then I'm being also treated for acute disc injury and also what is it? Joint pain, like disc pain, lower back pain,
Yeah. Shit.
microcurrent. So yeah, I'm doing that, and then I saw a specialist for spinal surgery, and he said since it was getting better, he's like he would rather me try 6 months of physical therapy. He's like, oh, you need to do 6 months of physical therapy, and it needs to be by this doctor because they work with lumbar spine, and then it comes out to, you know, about $500 a week, you know.
Fuck.
So you have to do that for every day for 6 months. So you're doing physical therapy 3 times a week. So, you know, and unless you can find health insurance to pay for it, and it's a pre-existing condition, they're not going to cover it regardless. So that's another thing, is finding insurance to cover an injury like this, you know, where it's going to cost, you know, $12,000 to $100,000, you know, in medical.
That's a huge thing I wanted to talk to. I didn't want to speak out of turn, but I think I seen something on your story with you saying like, should these big events help pay for these injuries that happen on their event? I know the UFC, like if an injury happens during a fight, they
They
cover your
have to.
medical. Yeah. So
Right.
what are your thoughts? Like, what do you think they should do? What could they do differently?
Obviously I already fought MMA, so yeah, I think every event should have some sort of coverage for their, you know, their event, and have a bond for at least $1 million for whatever happens, you know, like God forbid I would have landed on my neck and like paralyzed my body, you know what I mean, and then been like, then what, you know, then it's like, oh, it's like they said, oh, well, you signed a liability waiver. I was like, a liability for what? You know, like I'm liable for the rules that I was supposed to be competing under, not the WWE, you know, like, and even in the WWE, if you got slammed, you got paid enough to show up that you didn't have to worry about insurance. You had insurance, you know?
It seems
So
obviously injuries happen in jiu-jitsu. I train myself and obviously they happen, but the injuries you see in an event aren't, they don't happen all the time. So you think that they could afford to because the likelihood of them meeting is low, and when they do need to, you think they'd have that covered.
right, they should. Like you said, even MMA, they have to.
And way more injuries, right?
I think there's way more injuries
In competition.
in jiu-jitsu than MMA.
In competition, you think so?
Yeah. I mean,
Interesting.
there's a lot of injuries. There's a lot of injuries that happen that are just unspoken, just pop, like straight ankle locks that pop your foot, or a knee bar who pops your knee, or, you saw the one where, who was it? Ricardo Evangelista, who jumped guard on Buchecha and broke his knee. Like,
ADCC or something?
no, Worlds.
At
Gi
Worlds? No, I
Worlds.
don't remember that. No.
Yeah, Gi Worlds. The year that Buchecha didn't win one of his titles is because he got somebody jumped close guard on him and it bumped into his knee and broke his knee.
Oh, shit.
Blew his knee. Yeah.
Man, you're making my argument hard, man. I was trying to say people don't get hurt as often, and they could afford it.
Oh no, bro. Like, I mean, but it's a difference. Is also the difference between like knee surgery and spinal surgery. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I gotcha.
spinal surgery can leave you never to be the same ever.
Damn. What hot takes you got, Tex? You got any hot takes on flow or anything?
On what?
On
Hot
flow?
takes? What about him?
I don't know. I think I
think
saw a post from Tex Johnson that said flow grappling is the devil. Maybe I misread
I said
that.
that they're definitely built for greed and not for the greater good of the sport.
Gotcha.
I think they've definitely they're greedy, and that's fine. I get it. They're also paying the best out of anybody, So right now, honestly, I want to I have to make amends with flow grappling. Even though it's one of those things where it's like, what are we gonna do with this sport? Like, I've never been liked in this sport for some reason. I don't know why.
I like you, Tex.
Well, thank you, but it comes few and far between. The people who do like me are really great people, but then it's always like when I talk to Mike's like, well, we gave you a chance. Like, I wasn't good enough to be there. Like, we gave you a chance. It's like, dude, I was ranked in the top 6 regardless.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, we weren't doing this tournament based off of rank. Then I'm like, then why are we doing tournaments if it's not based off of rank?
Supposed to be, the best guys, right?
It's supposed to be the best guys. So if it's the best guys, then it should be the best top 8 guys that are ranked.
You would think.
Yeah, no. Instead, you get Orlando Sanchez and fucking.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on him? I'm sure you're not the biggest fan now.
Who?
What are your thoughts on Orlando Sanchez now?
My thoughts have always been the same. He's never been that good.
He's just a big tank.
Yeah, he's just a big tank. He can win a tournament, I guess. He won ADCC, but I don't know how he won it. I honestly don't.
Even sharing a mat with him, were you, underwhelmed?
No, yeah. I mean, underwhelmed to say the least. I knew he wasn't going to be good. Yeah. There's no way to be good at jiu-jitsu and look like that. You know what I mean? And there's something to be said about his muscles all fake. Like, his muscles all from taking steroids and shit. Like, he hasn't really done his due diligence to earn that kind of muscle mass. Just like when he fought Nicky Rod. Yeah. Nicky Rod made him look like a freaking baby. Tossed him around. Yeah. I mean, as a blue belt. Exactly. Yeah. He's never had great technique because he's never had to. And I feel like people were scared of him because he's so big. And it's like, I mean, dude, he chokes just like everybody else. Yeah.
Have you guys had words since your match?
He said sorry. And I kind of was like, all right, whatever, dude. I was too fucking everybody was worried I was going to go crazy on everybody. They're like, Tex, you got to calm down. The cop was like, what's his problem? And I'm like, dude, I just got fucking slammed on my back by some fucking idiot.
He hasn't reached out since after finding out about your injury or anything?
No, he's probably been told by his lawyers and everybody to keep quiet.
Gotcha.
I've tried to call him and everything, and he won't answer. I tried to call Michael Sears to like tell him what the prognosis was on the back, and he didn't call me back. I tried to talk to him, and be nice, but again, like they're too good to talk to anybody apparently. So I don't know. I'm trying to go after Orlando, I guess, for the damages. There's 2 lawyers that I'm talking to, so I can't say what they're doing
No,
because
yeah, don't.
I don't know what they're doing. They're contacting personal injury lawyers and stuff like that to see what can be done.
I gotcha.
In
Don't
the
say too
mean,
much.
yeah,
Say
no,
too
yeah.
much. You said earlier, you haven't been liked in the sport. I will do. I don't. You fought Gordon. Was that Substars the most recent time?
Yeah,
Was that,
that was the most
dude?
recent.
You had a lot of fans then.
Yeah, that
All the
point.
Gordon haters were Tex fans, dude.
So here's the whole flow grappling thing is everything's flow's been on the circuit with jujitsu, and they have a little bit of a meaning. I get it. Like they only want to give certain people the time, for the spotlight, even though other people are winning. Apparently Tim has a big following, so Tim gets a spot, because he has a big following. Of course, Kainon is a world champion, so Tim's a world champion, so he gets in the tournament, but he hasn't won anything lately. And he just won the who's number one, but he hadn't won anything up until then. Same thing with Big O. It was like kind of like these guys that they put in the tournament. It was like, man, like where's the other guys? But other guys want money to show up, They want $5,000 to show up, or $2,000, or they start asking for 3 plane tickets. Like they're like, I need 3 plane tickets and 2 rooms for my dog and my wife. And it's like, dude, what the fuck? Like, like some of these guys are asking for these things because like some of the promoters have told me, like, Tex, you know what these guys ask me for? And I'm like, no, what? And he's like, they want adjoining rooms with like two beds and a room for their dog, and then like 3 plane tickets. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Man, I
So
don't get it.
do you think it's a mix between they're trying to build, especially these Who's Number One tournaments, around people that already have a big following, and do you think it's some of that plus some guys are asking too much to get on?
I think guys are asking for too much, and then also, yes, they are only going to focus on who they want to. I mean, they control the media of what's going on, and there's kind of like the guys that they put on that show, unless they're just absolutely garbage, they're going to at least win 50% of the time, probably because they have a major backing. And they get to train decent jujitsu. So you've got these guys like, well, now Mikey's at Pedigo,
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
So Mikey and his sister are at Pedigo, and then Dante Leon is there. So Pedigo just got 3 people who are fucking phenomenal at jujitsu. You know what I mean? To train with. I don't know what kind of teaching they're going to be doing. But there is something to be said when you have a really good instructor who can like tell you how to do things and help you with the concepts of how they function in training and in competition. So I think maybe he can help them with that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. You've got B Team and New Wave coming out. And now everybody's like, oh, do I want to go train with Craig or do I want to go train with Evil Gordon? And it's like, I mean,
Are you and Gordon cool now? I mean, I know before your big super fight, he had some, we won't repeat it, but he's had some pretty fucked up things about you, and it seemed like there was a beef. Is that squashed or what?
it's Gordon started that whole thing with me calling me an alcoholic, and
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say it, but yeah, I remember that.
no, yeah, I mean, dude, I just kind of went off on him, and I mean, I saw him at Who's Number One, and I was like, I'm sorry, I said stuff about your dad. And he's like, oh no, that's cool. It's just, it's just business. But he's kind of like, he's got bigger shit to fry. Apparently, I don't know. He's apparently sick. His stomach. He's got a tummy ache or something.
That's what he says.
I
assuming
apparently
he's
got a tummy ache, so he has to come back to fight an exhibition match against the brown belt.
Shots fired, Tex. Shots fired.
But I'm just saying, like, you come back to fight some brown belt, and because the guy's got 50,000 followers, or what? Like.
Dude, I'm pretty sure he had nice things to say about you when coming into the tournament.
No, I mean, I have nothing bad to say about him, but he's coming back. Why did he even come back to fight that guy? I mean, I'd rather watch him come back when he's ready,
Yeah, I think that was what he didn't want to do, I guess. I can't speak for him. I think that was his, like, I want to get back on the mats, but so people don't say I'm, beating up these people who obviously everyone knows he can beat up. He'll make it an exhibition match. I don't know.
It was pointless. It was to get views and ratings, but It was pointless. I mean, they could have had that card with somebody else, another woman's match. They had Fiona on there. They have Bia Mesquita. They could have had somebody else, Kendall Rousing, on there, or somebody,
she
Amanda.
was commentating, I think. Kendall.
She was. Kendall was commentating, which is really good to hear her commentate.
Yeah.
She's one of the best commentators I've heard. But I just think that they could have put another match on there that deserved to be on there, other than, an exhibition match for Gordon. I mean, he could have even been at the tournament commentating also with Kendall and doing other things, to keep him in the limelight, that didn't have to put him out there. Like, bro, if you can compete against that guy, you can compete against anybody. And let's stop. Like, if you can get on the mat, I can literally not get on the mat with somebody without fucking my back up and probably not being able to walk again for a week or two.
Yeah.
I know he's sick, but again, like, then wait until you're ready to come back and then come back. We don't, I don't know why, but of course it's like, again, Gordon versus Wagner.
Yeah.
I rolled with Wagner to help him with that fight, and it was like, I was like, Wagner, you can't win this match. Like, you're just not good enough, and your game plan's definitely not, like.
You told Wagner that?
Yeah, I was like, dude, I'm taking your back. I'm tapping you. There's no way this is gonna work for Gordon. His whole game plan was to fucking get into close guard. And I'm like, you're gonna jump into Gordon's close guard. And he's like, nobody lets him get him in their. I was like, that's because they don't want to be in his close guard. I was like, because they'll die. They'll get tapped.
Yeah.
Like,
what's it like? You competed with him, obviously. I enjoyed watching your substars, Matt. What was it? Is it just different? Is it his planning? What makes Gordon? I didn't bring you on here to talk about Gordon, but I mean,
right.
I'm curious. What's different? Like, why is
he knows all the steps. He definitely does. He's put the timing and the hours in to have an answer for anything you're going to do, pretty much. And he can force the fight to go where he wants it to. So, like, the last time I fought him, the game plan was not to let him take my back, because I have a pretty good head and arm escape. So I got out of two of his head and arm chokes.
You got out two of them. Yeah.
So I'm like, it's submission only, so I'm not worried. And then I got him into some leg entanglements from the mount also, but couldn't solidify him or finish. But it was better than letting him take my back. So I think on the third one, he got the submission on the third one. And but the game plan was just not let him get to my back. So if he could pass the guard, let him pass, but don't invert where he can take my back off the inversion.
Yeah.
That was the
he's probably the best guy on your back, wouldn't you say so, in the sport? Or
I mean, you don't want him on your back or Felipe Pena or a couple. You don't want a few guys on your back. I mean,
Gotcha.
you don't want anybody on your
Well,
back.
obviously, yeah, I get that.
End of the day, you don't want anybody on your fucking back. So,
And Wagner doesn't want you on his back, apparently.
no, you don't want anybody on your back.
I got you. I got one more thing for you. Then I think Alex will have something. Alex doesn't train, so it's like kind of
What?
Alex doesn't train. Maybe Tex can talk him into it, but so when we have the jiu-jitsu guys on here, it's kind of hard for him to give input. I have my last question is, I'm assuming the answer is I don't know, but you're the future for Tex competing. I mean, you obviously, are you out of ADCC? Like what?
Yeah, I'm out of. Well, for right now, I'm definitely out of the East Coast trials. I'm doubtful for April for the West Coast trials too. So I was going to
hang on a second, Tex. You don't think because of your injuries, you think they wouldn't make an exception if you were healthy for the tournament? You don't think they'd let you in still?
ADCC?
Yeah, you think you have to? Okay.
No, I'd have to do trials.
I got you.
Unless, okay, there is like some weird like dimension probably where Tex gets an ADCC invite if he's like healthy. If like I think they'd even have to give Orlando well, maybe not now, but normally what happens is so if somebody gets injured, right, they have reserves, right? But since I've done the absolute and I've won a qualifier, I could be called for one of the divisions if there's enough if there is enough injuries.
Dude, go knocking on doors with baseball bats, Tex.
So yeah, if there's like 3 injuries in a division, there might be a calling for me to take that spot. So
you're 99 plus regardless, right?
I go 99 plus or minus 99.
Okay. What do you walk around at when you're healthy and training? If you don't mind asking.
Anywhere from like 225 to 240, 235.
I got you.
Just depends on what I'm eating.
Yeah, for sure.
Right now I've been eating everything. I'm eating my feelings.
How are you mentally? Are you okay, or is this fucking with you?
It fucks with me a little bit. It fucks me a lot, real bad. So,
well, I hope you get Alex. Alex will ask you something, but hopefully, man, we want to see you back on the mats. We want you to get better, healthy, physically and mentally, man. And I really appreciate you coming on here and talking to us about it.
Of course, no problem.
Alex, do you have a closing question or anything?
Yeah, I just have a question. So, you're a big leg guy, correct?
I guess I am. I mean, that's what people say.
And Gage always, I know on like the memes, the internet is like the guard pullers.
Yeah,
like
I'm a guard.
Yeah, I watched your match against Gordon. That was the first thing you did. Why is there such hatred for it? I'm just so like looking out.
So there's a thought process that like pulling guard won't work in like a street fight.
Yeah.
You know, but it will.
Whoa.
Yes, it will.
Okay.
How could it not? I mean, especially if you're not trained. I can up kick you in the face. You think that's gonna feel good? I can up kick you in the dick so hard that it breaks your fucking pelvis. Think about that.
That's an interesting take, Tex, because what I've always said,
I can up kick you in the pelvis and your dick. Are you gonna keep coming?
I've always said, and I'm sure you'd agree with this somewhat. I've always said when people say pulling guard won't work in a street fight, I always said, I know that. And I also know I'm not in one right now. Like I know.
Right, but no, it will. It will work in a street fight.
It will.
I wouldn't do it. I probably wouldn't do it.
I know you wouldn't, obviously.
I mean, I've done it once, but I wouldn't do it again. I just did it once and he hooked this guy one time. I was really drunk and he pushed me, so I just fell on my back.
Oh, you're not joking. You're serious.
Yeah. We were at
you heel hooked the dude in a street fight?
Yeah, because he pushed me, so I just fell on my back and I was like waiting for him to come in and stop me. And as he did, I pulled into like Ashi and like single leg X and like heel hooked him.
Dude, what a way to end the interview. Tex Johnson drunk heel hooks a dude in a street fight.
It was better than getting a fucking punching fight. He was taller than me. He was like 6'5". I was like 6 foot tall. I was like, he's 6'5". He's definitely got reach on me. I don't know if he can. I didn't know if he could box either. And I'd taken Muay Thai, so I definitely wasn't gonna start like I was gonna throw some fakes and maybe kick him in the leg to like chop the tree down.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, if I kick him and I break his femur, then that's not gonna be good.
Was him wearing shoes that give a better bite on the heel?
Yeah, it
Oh,
was a big
yeah.
old boot. It was like a little Birkenstock boot.
That guy's probably still not walking, Tex. You're an asshole.
He does walk.
Okay.
He limped back to the party. He limped back to the party.
I gotcha. Drink it away. Dude, that's
Yeah.
hilarious. I've never heard of that before. Listen, Tex, we're gonna let you go, man.
All right.
I hope you get better.
Thank-
Whenever this episode drops, I'll give you the tag, and if you want to share the link and all that shit, go for
Of
it.
course we will. Let's share it all over.
All right, man. Thanks, Tex. Appreciate you.
Thank you,
Get better,
guys.
man. Get better in the head
Yeah.
and get better
Thank you.
and get better physically, buddy.
Bye, guys. See you guys.
See ya.
Take care, man.